The past is still speaking, and 2025 proved it louder than ever. Across deserts, jungles, mountains, and even the ocean floor, archaeologists uncovered discoveries that left more questions than answers. These weren't ordinary digs. They revealed tombs with missing names, objects no one can explain, and evidence of forgotten worlds. If history and mystery fascinate you, hit like and subscribe now. The next 10 discoveries are the most puzzling finds of 2025, and each one will make you rethink how much of our story is still hidden. 1. Egypt's Wizard Doctor Tomb at Saqqara. Deep in the sands of Saqqara, archaeologists uncovered the lavish 4,100-year-old tomb of an ancient physician-magician. Inscriptions identified the tomb's owner as Tedinbafu, a royal doctor who held an astonishing array of titles: chief palace physician, priest, magician, and even chief dentist, a title rarely seen in Egyptian records. The tomb's walls are vividly painted with offerings and medical tools, hinting at the dual nature of Tedinbafu's practice as both healer and sorcerer. Researchers were awestruck by carvings of venomous creatures, suggesting he specialized in treating snake and scorpion bites. This unusual combination of scientific and mystical roles has puzzled experts. Was this Old Kingdom doctor revered as a kind of wizard doctor, bridging medicine and magic? The artifacts and inscriptions, from jars of medicinal herbs to spells invoking the goddess Serket, raise intriguing questions about how advanced Egyptian medical knowledge mingled with spiritual healing. The discovery of Tedinbafu's intact tomb, complete with a stone sarcophagus inscribed with his many titles, provides a rare glimpse into a mysterious elite who tended to pharaoh's health with remedies and ritual in equal measure. It's a find that blurs the line between science and sorcery in ancient Egypt, leaving archaeologists wondering just how much of his magic was real knowledge ahead of its time. 2. The foreign altar of Tikal. In the heart of Guatemala's jungles, a 1,700-year-old altar unearthed at the Maya city of Tikal left archaeologists scratching their heads. Initially, the carved and painted stone altar, found buried with the remains of a child and an adult, seemed like a typical Maya ritual site. But analysis of its artwork and pigments revealed something startling. This altar wasn't made by the Maya at all. Instead, it appears to have been built by visitors from Teotihuacan, a metropolis 600 miles away in central Mexico. The altar's style and the foreign skeletons buried inside suggest powerful outsiders lived in Tikal and conducted their ceremonies there. This discovery confirms historical hints that around AD 378, Teotihuacan's influence, even a conquest, reached deep into the Maya world. Archaeologists are puzzled by how intimate and secret this influence was. Why would Teotihuacan leaders construct a sacred altar and bury their dead in Tikal's outskirts? The find has sparked debate about whether these outsiders were diplomats, colonists, or conquerors during a turbulent period of war between the two great cities. As researchers study the altar's exotic paintings and the chemical fingerprints of its clay, the mystery deepens. It seems Tikal hosted a foreign enclave practicing Teotihuacan rituals in stealth. The altar is tangible evidence of a shadowy chapter of cross-cultural intrigue that archaeologists are only beginning to unravel. 3. The undeciphered scepter of Knossos. On the island of Crete, archaeologists discovered an ivory scepter that has become a tantalizing key to an ancient code. Carved around its ring and handle is the longest Linear A inscription ever found, 119 characters of the mysterious script used by the Minoans. Linear A has defied decipherment for over a century and continues to baffle researchers. This newly unearthed text, dating to around 1450 BCE, was found in a cultic sanctuary in Knossos alongside ritual objects. The scepter's finely etched symbols include little pictographs of animals, pottery, and textiles, possibly recording offerings for a religious ceremony. Archaeologists are excited that such a long text might finally provide the linguistic context needed to crack Linear A's code. Yet for now, the meaning remains opaque. a lost prayer or inventory locked in symbols that no one today can read. The inscription's exquisite craftsmanship, resembling both linear A and hieroglyphic signs, only adds to the enigma. Was this scepter a ceremonial staff bearing a sacred inscription known only to priestesses? Why was it broken and hidden in a repository? As scholars pore over the text, every hypothesis, from a list of sacrificial goods to an initiation hymn, is being considered. The mystery of the Minoan language endures, but this artifact offers new hope that the voices of that Bronze Age civilization may one day be understood. 4. The massacre at Vienna's football field. Sometimes a routine construction dig turns into a macabre window on history. Such was the case on Vienna's outskirts, where workers renovating a soccer field uncovered a mass grave holding the skeletal remains of over 150 ancient Roman soldiers. Archaeologists from the Vienna Museum were stunned. Burials of Roman battle dead are almost unheard of, since Romans usually cremated their fallen in that era. Forensically, the scene was grisly. Exclusively young adult males, piled together, bearing brutal wounds from swords, spears, and arrows. The evidence points to a catastrophic battle in the 1st century AD, a clash between Roman forces and local Germanic warriors that ended in slaughter. Yet no historical record mentions a battle near Vingabona, Vienna's Roman name. Matching these deaths, this has experts debating which conflict these troops died in, perhaps a lost skirmish of the Marcomannic Wars, or an uprising not recorded by Rome's historians. The sheer scale of the burial is exceedingly rare. It appears the Romans' defeated legionaries were hastily buried en masse by survivors or by local villagers, rather than given honorable rites. Archaeologists are treating the site like a crime scene, analyzing weapon injuries and DNA to glean any clues about the legion or enemy involved. The find has been described as unique in Roman history, a sober reminder of a battle that time forgot. As investigators piece together this puzzle, they hope to identify which legion met its doom, and to give these long unmourned soldiers a story after 1900 years of silence. The lost pyramid of the Judean desert. High above the Dead Sea's shores, Israeli archaeologists stumbled upon a pyramid-shaped stone structure that shouldn't have been there. Initially mistaken for a natural hill, the site revealed itself as a man-made fortress or tower dating back 2,200 years to the Hellenistic period. Built from hefty hand-carved stones, each over 400 pounds, the pyramid stands about 20 feet tall atop a desert ridge. Inside, the team found a trove of artifacts: Greek papyrus documents, bronze coins of the Ptolemaic and Seleucid kings, weapons, and even furniture fragments. It appears to be an outpost from the era when Greek dynasties fought over the Holy Land. Archaeologists now suspect this mysterious stronghold was a tax collection fortress guarding a vital caravan route between the Mediterranean and the Jordanian highlands. Yet puzzles abound. Why was such a rich site forgotten and buried by sand? The pyramid was unknown to history until now, and its exact role remains debated. Evidence shows it was abandoned and later reused as a burial site by Roman-era people, drawn to its commanding view. The discovery, one of the richest and most intriguing ever found in the Judean desert, according to the Israel the Antiquities Authority, has scholars excited. Each Greek parchment and coin is a clue to who built this desert fortress and why. As of 2025, this desert pyramid story is still being pieced together, transforming our understanding of a region where Greek, Jewish, and later Roman forces all crossed paths in antiquity. Lionheaded enigmas in an Israeli tomb. In a Roman-era tomb in central Israel, archaeologists unearthed 4 bronze discs that have them truly perplexed. Each disc bears a fierce lion's head in high relief, and each lion sports a large metal ring. But curiously, the rings are attached atop the lion's heads rather than in their mouths. At first glance, they resembled ornate door knockers, since similar lion head motifs with rings are known from ancient doors. But this design is different, and they were found neatly stacked in a pile beside the human remains in the tomb. Researchers now suspect these were decorative handles from a wooden coffin. The rings on top could have been used to lower the coffin into the grave. Even so, why were all 4 handles removed and placed at the side after burial? The team noted it's unlikely they just fell off together. It seems deliberate. The tomb's occupant was presumably high status. Lions symbolize strength and nobility in Roman culture. Yet the practice of removing and stacking the coffin handles is unprecedented. This odd ritual has sparked debate. Did mourners disable the coffin's locks to symbolically release the soul, or was it some offering? Adding to the mystery, no nearby graves contained anything like these lion head discs for comparison. The artifacts are one-of-a-kind finds that archaeologists hope future discoveries will clarify. For now, the lion heads of Kirbat Ibrica guard their secrets, emblematic of how even small finds can roar loud questions about ancient customs. 7. The unknown pharaoh of Abidos. In 2025, archaeologists excavating at Abidos in southern Egypt made a breathtaking discovery: the massive limestone-lined tomb of a previously unknown pharaoh from about 3,600 years ago. Buried beneath 20 feet of sand, the Grand Burial Chamber dates to Egypt's Second Intermediate Period, a chaotic era of rival kingdoms. The tomb's walls and entrance passage are finely decorated. Yet nowhere is there a cartouche or clear name identifying the king within. Looters in antiquity had ransacked the chamber, leaving only fragments of funerary goods. Egyptologists are now in a race to determine which lost ruler this could be. The Abidos region was home to a short-lived dynasty of pharaohs about whom little is recorded. So this could be one of those shadowy figures, or someone entirely new to history. The mystery pharaoh's mummy and treasures are gone. Still, clues abound. A few hieratic ostraka, or inscribed pottery shards, found nearby list administrative records and may mention a royal name once deciphered. The tomb's sheer scale and its location in the sacred necropolis of Abidos suggest this king was powerful in his time. Excavation leader Dr. Joseph Wegner called it a once-in-a-generation find and noted that rarely do archaeologists get the chance to identify a new pharaoh. Until the team can analyze every symbol and trace in the tomb's carvings, the Egyptian ruler who rested here remains nameless, a puzzle thrown into the annals of history. The world awaits whether a hieroglyphic sliver or a seal impression might finally reveal who this ancient monarch was, and how his story fits into Egypt's unfolding dynastic saga. 8. Homo erectus and the sunken world. Off the coast of Java, Indonesia, a dredging project revealed a haul of fossils that has upended what we know about early humans in Asia. Mixed among thousands of animal bones from an ancient submerged river valley, researchers found 2 skull fragments identified as Homo erectus, our extinct human ancestor. These bones were dated to roughly 140,000 years ago and likely belonged to a population of H. erectus that lived on a now-drowned landscape called Sundaland. Archaeologists are amazed. It's the first time H. erectus fossils have been recovered from the seafloor, confirming that these hominins roamed areas that are underwater today. The discovery paints a haunting image of a lost world. During the Ice Age, sea levels were lower, and Java was connected to the Asian mainland by vast plains teeming with wildlife. Cut marks on animal bones from the site show that these hominins hunted turtles and large game, displaying surprisingly advanced butchery skills. This is puzzling because such strategic hunting was thought to be unique to more modern humans. Could it mean that Java's Homo erectus learned new tricks by encountering Homo sapiens or other human species? Or did they innovate on their own? The finds hint at cultural exchange or parallel evolution and raise the intriguing possibility that different human species met on these fertile lost lands. As scientists study pollen, sediment, and DNA from the dredged material, they are effectively exploring a sunken continent. This extraordinary discovery has opened a new frontier in paleoarchaeology, one where many answers lie beneath the waves. and where an entire chapter of the human story has been hidden until now. 9. Hidden hordes on Hungary's hill. On a lone volcanic hill rising above Hungary's plains, archaeologists have uncovered a prehistoric treasure trove and a mystery. Using metal detectors and LiDAR scans, a team mapped out over 300 bronze and gold artifacts buried around Somlo Hill, many stashed in clusters as if deliberately hidden. These hordes date from the late Bronze Age to early Iron Age, roughly 1400 to 800 BCE, and include exquisite jewelry, weapons, and ornaments. The hill was a significant settlement, possibly the seat of local warrior kings, yet no records or known tribe can be definitively tied to it. The people who lived here remain anonymous, their identity still confounding scholars. What's baffling is why they buried so much wealth. 6 separate caches have been found so far, tucked into rock crevices, perhaps an ancient security measure or ritual offering. One theory is that as invaders or unrest threatened, the inhabitants hid their valuables for safekeeping and never returned. Another idea is religious, depositing bronze items to sanctify the hill or appease gods. The settlement itself, now mostly ruins and earthworks, shows signs of fortification and even has large burial mounds nearby, suggesting an elite society. But without written records, archaeologists are left with artifacts and contextual clues. Who were they? Thracians? Illyrians? A lost branch of Celts? Until more evidence emerges, the hordes of Somlo Hill remain an enigmatic legacy. Each fibula or brooch and amber bead is a whisper from a culture that thrived and vanished, leaving behind riches carefully buried in the earth, and a question mark in Europe's late Bronze Age timeline. 10. Germany's Roman warhorse cemetery. In an unprecedented find, archaeologists in Stuttgart, Germany have excavated a Roman-era horse cemetery containing the skeletons of more than 100 horses. The discovery, dating to around AD 100 to 150, is very rare. Romans typically did not bury animals in organized plots. Yet here were warhorses interred in neat rows of shallow pits, about 400 meters from an old Roman cavalry fort. Analysis shows these horses belonged to an ala, a Roman cavalry unit, stationed in the empire's Germanic frontier. When horses in the unit died, whether from battle, injury, or even a disease outbreak, the Romans dug graves and buried them on their sides, legs folded, likely marking each grave on the surface. This surprising level of respect for the fallen mounts has raised new questions about Roman military practices. One particularly large horse appears to have been given special care. Archaeologists suspect it may have been a beloved charger of an officer, perhaps buried with more ceremony. The cemetery even held one human skeleton, a man buried without honors, possibly an outsider, disposed of among the animals. Why the Romans established a formal graveyard for their cavalry horses is unclear. It could be simply practical, a designated area to dispose of dead animals outside the fort. But the careful arrangement suggests more than trash disposal. Researchers are considering whether the bond between rider and horse was ritually recognized in death. The find is forcing a reappraisal of how Romans regarded their horses, not merely beasts of burden, but comrades in arms, warranting a final resting place. Every discovery you've just seen is a reminder that history is never finished. Even in 2025, the Earth continues to give up secrets that challenge what we thought we knew. From lost rulers and undeciphered scripts to bones buried where no one expected, the past keeps leaving clues for those willing to dig. If you want to keep exploring these mysteries with us, make sure to like the video and subscribe. More of the world's buried stories are waiting, and the next breakthrough could be even stranger than what we saw this year.